hey, good morning. I didn't know you were out here. I got a chair problem today. This is just my desk chair, and it looks like one of the legs is cracked on it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to figure out how to take this thing apart, and we're going to fix that back leg. I wanted to get you a little closer look at the damage. You can see the crack starts right here, and it runs up behind this back piece, and it comes out the top. So it's not 100% broken off. I'm hoping if I can disassemble the chair somewhat where I can get a better angle on this broken piece that I can really just fill it with glue, clamp it down, and if I have to, I may put a dowel or something in it just to strengthen it up. The first order of business today is to get the seat off of this chair, and it shouldn't be too hard. There are 4 screws that hold this little piece of plywood on that has a seat cushion on it, and I've looked, and they use a square bit, so we'll just release them real quick. Looks like the 4th one wasn't even attached. I'll put the cushion away so that it doesn't get dirty or damaged out here in the shop. I'll be right back to start working on this chair. Let me see if I can get something to kind of push the glue down in there as well. I know the glue is starting to run down through because I can see it dripping out the other side onto my table saw. I'll clean that up promptly so we don't have any issue, but I can't worry about it right now because I really need to get as much glue into this joint as possible. Okay, what I want to do is I'm going to clean up a little bit, and then we're going to flip it over and see what it looks like on the other side. Yeah, the glue hadn't fully penetrated, so we're going to put some in on this side. Let me grab my screwdriver. Whoops, tough angle to work at there. There we go. Just trying to get as much glue into that seam as I possibly can. All right. Now we're going to squeeze it together, and when we do, I expect there to be glue all over the place. Let me grab some clamps. Oh, I was right. Glue went everywhere. Take a look at that. It's all over. We got a lot of glue in there, so I'm hoping that's a good sign. Let me get some paper towels so we can do a little cleanup. Need some more water. I'm going to release this clamp for a moment and just check beneath it. Yeah, there was some glue under there, and I don't want that to be visible on the piece, the final piece. I'll screw this down. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some more of these screw clamps as opposed to these pistol grip clamps, because I think they're going to give me a much tighter grip. And I really need this to be pressed together tightly. Unfortunately, I only have long clamps, but they're going to have to work. There's a second crack here. I'm going to put some glue in that. By no means does this look pretty, but you know, I don't really care. The main thing is I got glue running all through that crack, and I know I did because it dripped out of the chair, out of the other side of the crack onto my table. And then when I squished the two pieces of broken wood together, I had glue oozing out on both sides of the chair. So I feel pretty confident that I got a decent amount of glue inside there to glue those two pieces back together. A lot of clamps. They're everywhere, they're ugly, but you know what? It's gonna be okay. Give this thing a few hours to dry. I'll take it apart, let it dry overnight, and then we'll do the ultimate test, which is me sitting in it. And if it doesn't break and I don't get a massive injury, then this chair, we can deem it fixed, and I'll start working on sanding, just putting just a scuff on it with sandpaper so that I can come back and apply a white paint to match my daughter's room. Here's the plan with the chair. This has been my desk chair for a long time. We redid my daughter's room recently, and the other night my wife walks by the desk and she goes, "Hey, this chair matches Grayson's room perfectly. If it was just white, the seat cushion's perfect." So I lost my desk chair. It broke at an unfortunate time, but I'm glad it broke on me and not on her. I'm gonna go ahead and we'll let that dry overnight. That Titebond should form a great bond. I got glue everywhere. I mean, it was soaking through that joint. Once it dries, tomorrow I'll put the cushion back on it, and then I'll do some testing. I'll set in it and make sure everything is fine. And if there's no issue with it, the crack doesn't spread apart, it doesn't re-crack, there's no other issues, I'm gonna lightly scuff the chair, and we're gonna paint it white, and the same white that we used in her room for the trim. And we're going to move this into my daughter's room, and I'll get another desk chair. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you guys posted. If everything works out, you'll probably see a little blurb or two on me painting this thing. As interesting as that will be, right? All right, I'll keep you posted on what else goes on out here. The real challenge today was where to put this chair so that these clamps weren't in my way. All I had was long clamps available, so I used what I had. They're going to work great, but they do pose an issue with mobility. I've gone ahead and set my table saw up. I'm going to start making another record crate. I took that crate in yesterday and I set it up in the upstairs room, put the records in it. My wife loved it. You saw probably in the clip there, those records leaned against that wall. That drives her crazy because when she wants to clean, vacuum the floor, dust the woodwork, maybe rearrange the room, the records are always just a nightmare to deal with. And having them in the crate, she actually went upstairs and I had the crate stay there and she picked the crate up, said, oh, that's not too bad. It's a little heavy, but I can handle that, because that was her concern, is an easy way to take those records from point A to point B so that she can rearrange, clean, dust, whatever she wants to do. And my wife also really loves organization. She's a very organized person. So she fell in love with those crates. She fell in love with the color. And the first question she asked me was, when can you build another one? We got to get the rest of these records off the floor. So that lit a fire under me. And today I'm going to go ahead and get started on a second crate. I'll shoot some video. What do you guys think about it? Should I post this on my channel? I mean, I take a lot of heat when I post non-turning videos. This is a super simple box. I mean, it's all straight cuts, couple of slats, and glue it up, screw it together. What do you think? Should I post this on my channel? If not, then maybe I'll post it on this channel as opposed to my standard channel. But just let me know what you think about a project like this on the RJB Woodturner channel. I have not been doing a good job of keeping you guys updated on what's going on in the shop today, simply because it's just more of what went on in the shop the last couple of days. Let me flip around and show you what I mean. I'm preparing to make one more record crate. So what I've been doing is cutting everything to length, cutting everything to width, routing, drilling. I've been notching. I've got all of my parts ready to go. And I just finished setting up my sander. Got the dust collection piped in, and I am preparing to sand all of the pieces. As soon as those pieces are sanded, I'll glue up the two frames, the front and back frame, and I'll let that set for about 20 minutes, and I'll start staining if there's time tonight. If there's time, I'll start staining all of the pieces once they're sanded. This is basically turning into a one-day project. Essentially, once they're stained, it's dry enough to touch. I mean, it's still got that damp feel to it, but you could go ahead and assemble it. So if I hadn't worked on the chair this morning, and if, I think I could do this all in one day. I don't know if I'm going to push for that much. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to push to get everything sanded. I'll reevaluate what time it is, and if it's not too late, I figure it's going to take about an hour to stain everything. So, we may glue up and stain in one day. I don't know. I will keep you guys posted on that, but since I kind of showed updates on this stuff the first time I made it, it was easier. I've got my notes. It was easier just to go head down and just boom, 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 just keep moving forward than it was to stop and record the same old thing. So, all right, I'll keep you guys posted on how far I get today and if anything else happens while I'm in the shop. I made really good progress today, guys. See over my back shoulder? I've got everything stained. I just finished staining. Quite honestly, since I wiped the stain off, I could theoretically go ahead and assemble that and then let it sit out here and dry overnight and let it kind of off-gas that stain smell. But I have a event tonight that I'm going to online. So it's only 5 o'clock. I need to get a shower, get kind of cleaned up, and then I'll be online for an event. So I'm just going to, assembly is maybe an hour. So I could have theoretically finished this. This is truly a one-day project if you take the time to do it. And it was fantastic. I mean, I had a great time making the second one. Can't wait to assemble it tomorrow and move some more of those albums into it. This is it for me. I'm calling it quits tonight. Thanks for hanging out with me. I truly appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you all again very, very soon.